In this episode of Repro Roundup, we'll take a look at an early survival horror game on the Super Famicom that was only released in Japan. Let's take a look at Clocktower on the Super Nintendo. You may be familiar with the Clocktower series from the PlayStation and PS2 releases, but the series actually began a few years earlier in 1995. The first PlayStation installment is actually titled Clocktower 2 in Japan, as the original game in the series was a Super Famicom exclusive. This survival horror series has evolved quite a bit over the years, changing hands from Human Entertainment to Sunsoft and Capcom, as well as having a variety of ports and spin-offs in Japan. Most recently, a successful Kickstarter known as Project Scissors was brought to life under the direction of Hifumi Komo, creator of the original game. Nightcry, a new horror game of the same style, is slated for release in December of 2015. With this spiritual successor on the horizon, I figured it would be the perfect opportunity to take a look at where the series began, with Clocktower on the Super Nintendo. Clocktower is a survival horror point-and-click adventure game developed by Human Entertainment for the Super Famicom in 1995. The game is very story-driven, following the events of an orphan named Jennifer Simpson, along with three of her orphan friends, Laura, Anne, and Loti. The children have all been adopted by Mr. Barrows and brought to live in his mansion, known as the Clocktower. Once they arrive, Mary, the woman escorting the characters to their new home, steps out to find Mr. Barrows. As Mary is taking an unusually long time, Jennifer sets out to look for her. After hearing a scream from the foyer, Jennifer discovers the other girls missing and is left alone in the dark, ominous mansion. The game plays as a point-and-click adventure game, using the D-pad to control the cursor on the screen. This allows you to move the character across the screen, and also interact with objects in the environment, such as staircases and doors. When you hover over a usable object, the cursor changes to highlight the item. This feature is extremely useful, as you'd otherwise be wandering around aimlessly. Some of the items you come across can be picked up and stored in your inventory for later use. Some of the usable items include keys to locked doors, pesticide to kill insects, or perfume to disguise your scent from a guard dog. Your character's movement in the game is incredibly slow, but this actually emphasizes the vulnerability of your character and the atmosphere of the game. Fortunately, you can also run by pressing the action command twice or tapping the shoulder buttons on the controller. This would have been the perfect game to make use of the Super Nintendo mouse accessory, but the controls are fairly responsive and intuitive with the standard controller. As you explore the Clocktower to find your friends and unravel its secrets, you quickly discover that all of your lives are in great danger. The main villain of the game, Bobby Barrows, is a deformed child wielding a huge pair of scissors. This character, commonly known as Scissor Man, chases you around the mansion to claim your life. Bobby will jump out of hiding when you enter certain rooms or interact with different objects. Unlike most survival horror games, you have no weapons at your disposal, forcing you to evade his advances until he loses your trail. Along the bottom of the screen, a portrait of your character indicates your health, or more accurately, your fear meter. When you experience scary or dangerous events, your fear level changes from blue to red, ranging from calm to a state of terror. If you come in close quarters with Bobby, you enter a desperation mode where you have a chance to evade his attack. If your fear level is low, you can usually escape, but when your fear level is elevated, your fate is much less fortunate. If you die in the game and encounter a dead end, you can fortunately continue where you left off. You restart in the last room that you entered, making the difficulty very forgiving. Overall, the game is somewhat short, but offers multiple endings depending on your actions and experiences. You could end the game quickly by running straight for the garage and taking off in the car, but this leaves your friends for dead, and the secrets of the Clocktower a mystery. The further you explore, the more the story unfolds, revealing many disturbing details of the house and its inhabitants. For a 16-bit game, Clocktower does a surprisingly good job to keep you on edge. While there are a few jump scares in the game, they usually correspond with a change in music to alert you to the incoming danger. Most of the horror elements in the game actually come from the disturbing story and the eerie atmosphere. The music in the game is fantastic, ranging from the empty sounds of footsteps and creaking doors to the haunting scores of impending doom. Where the game also shines is in the randomness that is present with each playthrough. Many of the rooms will change position, and Bobby can be hiding among several different locations. Not only does this add to the fear factor of the game, but combined with the multiple endings, offers a great deal of replay value. Not only is Clocktower one of the earlier entries in the survival horror genre, but it also stands the test of time. If you're looking for something to play for the Halloween season, you won't be disappointed with Clocktower on the Super Nintendo.